Meanwhile, this week, FBI Director Christopher Wray announced plans to resign at the end of the Biden administration as President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. The news comes amidst a bombshell report from the Justice Department that revealed the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago." So 23 folks for the FBI were in the crowd. And we're just finding that out.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because, you know, once we have the Red Cup, we're about to spill some truth. And today I wanted to come on and talk about Stephen A. Smith's rant. I mean, it was long, but it was a rant, okay? And the reason why he had this rant or this breakdown about the Democratic Party is because the DOJ decided to release their report. Well, what did they find? The DOJ found that 26 FBI informants were present January 6th. Okay, now all of those riots and all of the excitement, yes, Donald Trump had said over and over again that those people inciting the riots and those people leading them to the Capitol were FBI agents. I want you guys to see this Fox News report.
The Justice Department just released the bombshell report that we've been waiting for. What actually happened on January 6th? The FBI had 26 confidential human sources there that day. 26. A confidential human source is a guy the FBI pays to spy for them. Of the 26 confidential human sources who were in D.C. on Jan 6th, 4 entered the Capitol during the riot. An additional 13 entered the restricted area around the Capitol. Their own inspector general says this is what happened. But that's not what they told you when they testified under oath.
Those who were there in an undercover capacity on January 6th, how many were there?
Again, I'm not sure that I can give you that number as I sit here. I'm not sure there were undercover agents on scene.
I thought I heard you say you didn't know whether there were FBI agents or informants or human sources in the Capitol or in the vicinity on January 6th. Did I misunderstand you? I thought that's what you said.
Well, I referred very specifically to undercover agents.
All right, so you guys just saw that Fox News report. They were lying the entire time. And the reason why the liberal media and the liberals themselves, you know, the Democrats, the reason why they didn't want to tell you the truth, because they didn't want to sway any votes to Donald Trump if they told you the truth about the findings. Also, they didn't want to give any credence that Donald Trump was telling the truth about FBI informants, operatives, agents, whatever you want to call these folks, that they were there and that they were telling people to go inside of the Capitol, okay? They didn't want to tell you this, but Trump supporters already knew this. We have been saying this over and over again.
Nearly 1 year after the violent and well-documented attack on the U.S. Capitol, some people are still deflecting blame from Donald Trump and his supporters, and instead they're embracing conspiracy theories. They're pointing fingers at Democrats and the FBI.
I think the whole reporting of it is a giant hoax. We are very peaceful people. So it was a total setup. To me, it was the FBI had set it up. I don't believe that they were Trump supporters that did that.
You said the whole thing's a setup. You don't really believe that, do you?
I do. I do. Because Trump won the election. They've proven it over and over again.
I really don't think Trump had much to do with it than people that were supporters for him. Some were involved, but I think they were enticed by the FBI.
All right, so you guys just seen that. So Trump supporters, we already knew this. We have been saying this. That report right there from CNN was the year after it happened. All right, so we already knew this. We are not delusional. We don't have Trump derangement. We understand what we saw. There were multiple cell phone videos of it. So I don't understand what liberals were arguing about. But, you know, when you only watch, you know, Joyless Reed and, you know, Joe Scarborough's and the other lady, Mika, you only get one side, all right? You only get one side. But I even did a video on it, and people, and I do mean liberals, came for me and said, oh, you are just deranged. Why do you think that FBI agents were there? You guys just don't want to say that Trump did it. Well, the DOJ has proven it for us, and congratulations to Donald Trump. So now I want to get into Stephen A. Smith's rant because it was epic, okay? But Just like he was saying in this rant, he can't even go back and forth with the Sean Hannity or any conservative because when we talk, we're usually right. Watch this.
Meanwhile, this week, FBI Director Christopher Wray announced plans to resign at the end of the Biden administration as President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. The news comes amidst a bombshell report from the Justice Department that revealed the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. The report says most of the informants engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its 26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appeared to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago," end quote. So 23 folks for the FBI were in the crowd. And we're just finding that out.
Well, Stephen A., you're just hearing about it because none of those Democrats really care about you guys, okay? They don't care, which is the reason why they lied to you about who they gave money to during the campaign. They've lied about not paying their staffers. They've lied about pretty much everything. They lied about Kamala being black. They lied about everything because they don't care about the American people, especially the American voters that vote for them.
Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that when the quote-unquote insurrection was broached by Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee.
Of course not.
By President Biden before her.
He was asleep.
By Democrats in both the House and the Senate as they articulated
Okay.
the belief that Donald Trump was a danger to democracy and using this as a profound, illuminating bullet point to make that case.
Correct.
And now here we are yet again finding even more evidence to Donald Trump's claims when he articulated that the process is rigged, the Democrats are this or that, they're talking about us, but look at what they do. My big issue is that I'm really, really sick and tired of every time I turn around finding something else that the Democrats have lied about or downplayed or misrepresented along the way. Where's the $1.5 billion that was given to the Democratic Party? Where is it?
Kamala not about to tell you what she did with that money. Kamala in Hawaii, or she's never been to Europe, so maybe she's there. But I haven't seen her. Have you seen Kamala? You ain't going to see her. You know why? Because she does not care. She's not going to tell you what she did with the money. And neither is the Democratic Party. And, you guys just gave and gave and gave. And you never asked any questions. And when people had questions, even her own party, you guys made them feel inadequate. You made them feel like they were doing something wrong. So guess what? She got away with a whole lot, including that 2.5.
Where'd the money go? Why was Oprah given $2.5 million?
Because she don't like Kamala.
Why was Al Sharpton's National Action Network given that much money?
Because he broke.
Before interviews, by the way. Why? I think it was $500K.
Because he broke.
For the National Action Network. Why? I want to be clear. I don't have any problem with the National Action Network taking that money. Because they don't have a lot of money.
I said that.
I have more of a problem with Oprah taking $2.5 million when she's worth over $1 billion. But speaking to us as if her heart and soul was so immersed in supporting Kamala Harris. Well, then why didn't you do it for free?
Because she don't like her.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking these things. And I see Republicans like Megyn Kelly or Officer Tatum or Candace Owens or, the Sean Hannitys of the world. You know what I'm getting tired of?
What?
I'm getting to the Democratic Party. You know what I'm getting really pissed off about? I'm getting really ticked off at every time they open their mouth about something pertaining to y'all, they seem right.
We are right.
I would love to argue with Sean Hannity. How can I? Do you know what Sean Hannity used to do to me when I told him Kamala Harris had a chance?
What'd he do?
He'd laugh.
Yeah.
Like literally, genuinely giggle. He'd
That's
go
what
on
we
TV and put on his straight face to y'all. You got to be concerned. This election could go either way. He laughed. He wasn't concerned about her. Before I called out Biden, he was calling Biden Sleepy Joe.
Everybody understood that Joe Biden was not elected. Everybody understood that Joe Biden had a problem. The man was falling up steps. Okay. I keep telling you guys this. Anytime you fall up the steps, there's a problem. All right. It was only the liberal media that kept saying that he was fine when you can clearly see that something was wrong. And then when they decided to switch, when they decided to out him and put in Kamala, when they did that, that is when they said, oh, he's too old. He's too old. He needs to step aside. Yada, yada, yada. He's been too old. So again, here is the mainstream media lying to its base. I wonder why.
No one's above the law. No one's above the law. Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, Elizabeth Warren, who makes you feel like your soul is going to hell if you don't agree with her. Inconsistency after inconsistency after inconsistency. We can argue policies. We can argue politics all day long. But the Democrats worked really, really diligently to make the case that the right had a monopoly on insidious, evil tendencies, corrupt tendencies, duplicitous, hypocritical, untruthful tendencies. And every time they made those accusations, we turn around and find out that at least some of them are guilty of the same shit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of all of it. I'm sick of all of it. They've actually made Donald Trump look like he was right instead of them. Think about that. He didn't just get to raise his fist on election night as a victor. He's been raising it every night ever since for one different issue after another that he keeps winning because he keeps highlighting what they lied about. I'm sick of it.
All right, so you guys just saw that Stephen A. is absolutely right. The Democrats have been taking L's, not only just with the election, they've been taking L's every day since. Donald Trump has showed over and over again that, hey, the Democratic Party is corrupt. Joe Biden said, hey, I'm not going to pardon my son. He goes and pardons him. There's nothing wrong with the DOJ. And then he turns around and says, the DOJ is weaponized. And now it comes out that Donald Trump was right about January 6th. There were FBI informants. It feels so great to be on the winning team. Now, it wouldn't be a Red Cup video if I didn't highlight the fact that, the Trump deranged media is now spinning this whole thing, all right? They don't want to use certain words. So they're using things like, oh, there was no FBI agents. Yeah, that's because they called them FBI informants. Yeah, they don't work for the agency, but they work for the agencies. Y'all know how law enforcement works. Watch these news clips of the media just trying to spin it. Here we go.
All right, Caitlin. So what's in that report?
Big headline coming out from that report is that there were no undercover FBI agents present at the protests or in the attack on the Capitol. And that is essentially to address a lot of conspiracy theories that have been floating around for years on the far right that this was somehow provoked by undercover FBI informants. So this Inspector General report says that no undercover agents were present on that day.
The Department of Justice announced Thursday that there were no undercover FBI agents at the site of the Capitol riot on January the 6th. The report released finds that while the agency should have gathered more information prior to the breach of the Capitol, there were no FBI employees authorized to be there. Now, that finding goes a long way to debunking a conspiracy theory claiming that the FBI consciously helped provoke the events that day. Now, here's an important point. The DOJ did find that 26 informants were in Washington that day for election protest-related purposes. And 4 of them did go into the Capitol building, having not been authorized by the FBI to do so.
Mainstream media, they are shaking in their boots because they knew that they lied, all right? And they can't say that the FBI informants were not there because it's in the DOJ report. So what do? They go and say, oh, well, FBI employees were not there. No FBI employees, okay? So that lays all the conspiracy theorists to rest. No. They lied on Capitol Hill and said that they had no one, not an FBI informant, not an employee, not no one, especially the one in that told people to go to the Capitol. Senator Ted Cruz pointed this out at the hearing, and they still lied about it, all right? And even to this day, he got released while others sit and rot in jail. I want you guys to see this really quick clip of this FBI informant that caused a lot of stir, and still the FBI act like they didn't know who he was. Watch.
The night of January 5th, 2021, Epps wandered around the crowd that had gathered. And there's video out there of him chanting, "Tomorrow, we need to get into the Capitol, into the Capitol." This was strange behavior, so strange that the crowd began chanting, "Fed, Fed, 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 Fed." Ms. Sandburn, was Ray Epps a Fed?
Sir, I cannot answer that question.
The next day, on January 6th, Mr. Epps is seen whispering to a person, and 5 seconds later, 5 seconds after he's whispering to a person, that same person begins to forcibly tear down the barricades. Did Mr. Epps urge them to tear down the barricades?
Sir, similar to the other answers, I cannot answer that.
Shortly thereafter, the FBI put out a public post seeking information on individuals connected with violent crimes on January 6th. Among those individuals, in the bottom there, is Mr. Epps. The FBI publicly asked for information, offering cash rewards leading to information leading to the arrest. This was posted, and then sometime later, magically, Mr. Epps disappeared from the public posting. According to public records, Mr. Epps has not been charged with anything. No one's explained why a person videoed urging people to go to the Capitol, a person whose conduct was so suspect the crowd believed he was a Fed, would magically disappear from the list of people the FBI was looking at. Ms. Sandburn, a lot of Americans are concerned that the federal government deliberately encouraged illegal and violent conduct on January 6th. My question to you, and this is not an ordinary law enforcement question, this is a question of public accountability. Did federal agents or those in service of federal agent actively encourage violent and criminal conduct on January 6th?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Thank you.
So you guys just saw that. That was Senator Ted Cruz sitting there asking the FBI, hey, do y'all know why this person that works for the FBI was out there? No, we don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. Not to my knowledge. I can't answer that question. Why can't you just say no? You know why you can't say no? Because you're guilty. And the DOJ report just proved it. And the liberal media is not going to say it. They're not going to, all right? Because they don't like Donald Trump. They don't like MAGA supporters. And they definitely don't like telling the American people, whether they're liberal or conservative, the truth. They want you to vote and shut up, period. Come January 21st, 2025, Americans, we're back in business. You guys get down in the comments and let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do you think that just because they were FBI informants and they were paid by the FBI, that doesn't mean that they were doing the FBI's bidding? Okay. Or if you're like me, the report just snitched on them, just like their FBI informants. And they got caught at that hearing with all the evidence because Senator Ted Cruz proved every last bit of it. He showed videos, he showed still photos, and he even showed that the FBI took Epps off the list and nobody knows where he is. I wonder why. But everybody else they arrested is sitting in jail. I wonder why. So you guys get down in the comments, like, comment, and subscribe. And again, I'll link my old video here. This is what the media does, and you can't expect anything else. Stephen A., I am so sorry you're having a come to Jesus moment with the DNC. Come on over, big dog. The conservatives, we got you. Because you're pretty much leaning that way anyway. To the right. Like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl, Mika. I'm out. Peace.